So the BRICS Summit is underway in Kazan, and this is the 16th edition. The leaders first met in the year 2009, right after the 2008 financial crisis. At that time, the BRICS was called the future of a globalized economy. 16 years later, what does this group really stand for? Is it anti-West? Is it an alternative to the West? Let's look at the group first. BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, BRICS. So the name is an acronym. In 2006, it started with 4 members. South Africa joined in 2010. And this year, 5 new members have joined. Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. They've all joined BRICS this year. So now there's a total of 10 members, and there is potential for more.
As of today, 30 countries expressed their desire to cooperate with BRICS in varying degrees, to join this organization's activity in this or that way. Here, together with other members of the organization, we have to think carefully how to treat the enlargement of BRICS. Certainly, we will not push anyone away. It is absolutely clear that our doors are open.
So who all are in Kazan? Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is there, Chinese President Xi Jinping, South Africa's Cyril Ramaphosa. They're all there, so are the leaders of the new member nations. The only person missing is Lula da Silva, the president of Brazil. He hurt his head in an accident, so he was advised to avoid long-distance flights. Instead, Brazil's foreign minister is attending this summit. Beyond that, a dozen other leaders are attending, including Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. So clearly, the BRICS is expanding, and so is its influence. Look at the numbers now. 3.5 billion people live in BRICS nations. That's 45% of the global population. Their combined GDP exceeds $60 trillion. That's 37% of the global economy. In fact, it surpassed that of the G7. The BRICS controls 20% of the world's exports. With the induction of oil-rich nations, it also produces 44% of the world's crude oil. So the BRICS is a force to reckon with. But what is its purpose? It's a question the group has long struggled with. The initial idea was cooperation to take on a US-led financial system. So the BRICS set up its own institutions. It rallied for reforms. The idea was to create alternatives to promote a multipolar world. But as years passed, cracks emerged in this vision. Look at the 5 main members. All of them have different interests, different priorities, often clashing interests. Let's start with this year's host. That's Russia. They're at war with Ukraine. The West has isolated Russia. It's heavily sanctioned. The BRICS offers them some relief, an alternative network for diplomacy, trade, and investment. So Moscow's position is simple. It sees the BRICS as a way to oppose the West, a way to challenge the Western order. Then you have China. It wants to dethrone the West, position itself as a global leader. And what better way than this? A group that caters to the global South. So this is where Russia and China find common ground, an alliance against the West. That's what they want BRICS to be. But not everyone shares this vision, like India. India does not want to take an anti-Western stand. India believes in balancing ties. It has a historical relationship with Russia. It has a growing partnership with America. New Delhi wants to preserve both. The other 2 members, Brazil and South Africa, share similar concerns. They want global influence, but they don't want to fight the West. So you see the problem here. Russia and China have a political motive to use BRICS to undermine the Western global order. India wants something bigger, a multipolar world order. The clash of priorities is evident. It makes BRICS a divided bloc. So what's the way forward? Well, their leaders meet every year. The bloc is adding new countries. In Kazan, the mood is optimistic. Member countries believe it still has potential. But to live up to that, they must find a way to overcome their differences, a way to forge consensus. No country should be allowed to hijack the platform. To succeed, BRICS needs to go back to its roots. It began as an alternative to the Western global order, to the Western order of global governance too, and it must stick to that goal.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election, explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.